The Process of Physical Death by Ethel M. Mallet, read by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The Process of Physical Death. What happens to us when we die? When, for one cause or another, either through disease, or the natural decay of old age, or through what we call accident, this physical body has ceased to be a useful vehicle for the thinker to dwell in, so that he withdraws himself from it and leaves it to be broken up into its original elements. The physical body consists of two parts, the dense body and its etheric double, and these two parts are held together throughout earth life by a slender thread. When the thinker passes finally away from his body at death, this thread is snapped, thereby making it impossible for him to re-enter his dense body in the way that he has been accustomed to do morning after morning when waking from deep sleep. We are told that for a few hours after death, the thinker, wrapped in his mental, astral and etheric vehicles, is unconscious of his surroundings. During this time, he is gradually withdrawing himself from the physical plane, and some hours after he has freed himself from the dense body, he shakes off also the etheric double, which then breaks up gradually into etheric matter. When the person who has passed through death wakes to consciousness again, he often does not realize that he is dead at all, for he sees around him the same objects and the same people he has been accustomed to see. If he tries to speak to his friends, however, he soon finds that some change has taken place. He speaks, and they do not answer. He touches them, and they take no notice. You can imagine that anyone who had been brought up to believe that at death we go right away into another world, where everything is quite different from what it is here, would be rather puzzled when they found themselves apparently in their accustomed surroundings, but unable to make the people around them take any notice of them. But we, who have learnt something about the other planes of the universe, and who know that death is only a passing out from a vehicle on one plane to a different vehicle on another plane, shall be able to understand when we find ourselves in such a situation that we have said goodbye to the familiar physical body we know so well, and that the things and the people we see around us are the astral doubles of the things and people we knew on the physical plane. We shall then perhaps remind ourselves that there will be no use in trying to attract the attention of our friends, for they are wrapped in their denser bodies for the time being and unconscious of our presence, just as when we were alive we were unconscious of the presence of those whom we called dead. Happily, they are none the less able to benefit by our loving thoughts, and no doubt we shall pour these down upon them, thereby lessening their grief and sorrow for having, as they think, parted from us. And then we shall turn our attention to the world in which we find ourselves, and try to make ourselves useful there, and also to hasten our progress into the far happier state which we know lies in front of us. We are held in the astral world until the desires which have built up certain kinds of matter into our astral bodies are worn out. That means that if during earth life we have longed very much for certain kinds of pleasure or of gratification of our senses, we must then remain after death on the astral plane until these desires have gradually died out, and the astral matter in which these desires clothe themselves has dropped away from our astral vehicle, leaving the thinker free to pass on, clothed only in his mental and higher bodies, to the mental or devachanic world.